spot off Joey Logano's winning move on William Byron entering turn 3 with 2 laps to go. TJ.
Why? TJ.
Obviously.
I thought you were the ass all this time, and now that you're gone, he's still wrecking people.
See? I mean, I got wrecked on lap 2.
I want you to be
TJ
real on this take.
TJ.
Come on, here we go.
Don't be.
This is your shot.
This is not Penske, TJ.
Fake it
This
till
is
you make
this
it,
is
right?
right?
I'm spot off because he wrecked him. Like, he was gonna spin out if that wall wasn't there. Tore up a race car. Didn't even make an attempt at passing him. It's Darlington off of turn 2. You're mad because you brushed the wall a little bit, which he ran you up a little bit, but do it back. You don't have to destroy a race car doing it. In my opinion, I don't agree with tearing up race cars for that. In my opinion,
The biggest thing to me is never made an attempt to pass him.
That's what I'm saying.
If you work a guy over and listen, I'm all about win at all costs. We've built this system around you've got to win a race. You've got to win a race to get in the playoffs. Everything. He's on a 40 race winless streak or something like that. Win at all costs.
Ain't no more.
At least make some kind of attempt and realize maybe I can't get around him.
What
Now
do
I
they
gotta
show
move
there
him.
every time we go to Darlington? What replay do you see on that screen?
Ricky Craven, Kurt Busch.
Why? Because they were racing.
They were racing their asses off.
It
We
wasn't,
could have seen that again.
We could have seen something like that. Or Joey is by far good enough to nudge somebody and get by him and do what he has to do.
He had a run, too. You could see it.
So you think that's a cheap shot?
I think it's a cheap shot.
Tommy, what do you think?
I do. I think that restart where they were battling coming off of 2, that was a trouble area the whole race. That little bump with the cars bottoming out and doing what they needed to do, especially on low air. I think that was really, really hard racing. I think what Joey did to William wasn't. I'm with TJ. I think he had plenty of time to pass him. Obviously, he was 2-3 a lap faster than he was at that time. Byron was out of tires. He was holding on for dear life, and Joey could have made a race of it, but didn't. Just ran into the back of him, and it all goes back into how many people seen that, how many kids seen that, how to race, and a lot of kids are going to learn from that and say that, hey, we're going to just push him out of the way and win the race instead of race the racetrack, race the driver at the same time. And like you said, that Craven Kurt Busch race was probably one of the most phenomenal finishes of all time of how they raced. The respect they gave, why they were wrecking each other was incredible.
Yeah,
and
I think those two guys look back at that race and probably respect each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we could have had another one yesterday, and the whole world would be talking about that and how great a race it was. Even though it was a really good race, how great the race would have been if they did. And again, the drivers get to choose how good the race is going to be, right? And
A lot of times, yeah.
right?
They're the performers.
Right? So that could have been another game changer for our sport. But now it's a little bit different.
I will say I agree with everything you guys are saying. You're missing one big point, and this is what I'm the most spot off on. Joey's lame-ass excuse after the race of, I will not be bullied. He ran me in the fence. If you're going to be and race like a D-bag, you got to own it. Don't play the victim on TV like I had to pay him back. He was bullying me. No, that's not the way that played out at all. So I'm the most spot off for the way he handled it in the post-race. Let's back up. Your experience as an owner, your experience as a crew chief, you are now William Byron's crew chief. Post-race, going into the rest of the season where you got one took from you, stole from you, cheap shot it from you. What do you guys talk about this week as it pertains to how you race Joey Logano from here on out? Is there payback? What are you thinking?
If I was him, I basically knew that I wasn't going to win. I mean, if you can see it happening the last 3-4 laps, it wasn't.
He mowed him down.
But we would have finished second, right? So the game plan is to get him when it counts. Don't get him now. Get him when it counts. The last 10 races, just rough him up a little bit, ruin his day, just a little bit more than what he deserved. And it's open game now, unfortunately. But really, should it be? Are they sending the right message by doing that? I don't know, man. It's tough nowadays. Back when in the 90s and early 2000s, none of these guys raced like this, man. I mean, Mark Martin set the example of respect. Jeff Burton learned from Mark Martin how to race. You used to watch these guys when they caught them to move over and let them go. You know why? Because they lost less time to the guys behind them. Now you see these guys racing each other to death. You know why? Because the way NASCAR set it up with the stage, the points, what it's worth. There's so much more on the line nowadays during the race, in the beginning to the end. And these guys have to race like this. I mean, everybody's getting mad at Ross Chastain and how he's racing. He's just racing hard. I mean, the guy's been giving everybody space for how many years now, getting out of everybody's way,
right,
and doing and respect what he needed to do, running from 22nd to 32nd for a lot of years. Now he has the capability of running up front, man. He's seen these guys drive past him, wrecking him because they're mad at him because he's lap car. Don't you think he has in the back of his head who did what to him back in the day? So I respect the hard racing, but listen, man, understand if a guy catches you from a half a straightaway back, you got to let him go, because the guys behind you are going to catch you fast if both of you guys start racing. It just doesn't make sense. And
especially with 230 laps to go.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ross Chastain, of all the guys in the top 10, as a car owner, you may disagree with me. I hope that Ross Chastain is on a one-year deal, because he has to be the lowest paid guy in the top 10 in points right now. 2 wins, locked into the playoff. This is a guy that could go have a life-changing contract. And he's underpaid based on how he's performing. It is every single week from the spotter stand. I look up there at the leaderboard, and he's in the top 7 or 8. It doesn't matter where we're at. If it's a road course, if it's a short track, if it's a Darlington, if it's a mile and a half, he's up there.
Yeah, but
does this fit his driving style? Like, is that the deal with
the
this car?
The car does. It allows people like Ross to drive the heck out of these things. And I don't think these guys look at the money as much now. I mean, they're searching, they're trophy hunting. You know what I'm saying? And the scale of the pay, to be honest with you, has gone down a lot. In the last 5-6 years, just because of the sponsorship money coming in. I don't think he's underpaid. I think he's probably the lower tier of the best drivers out there. But I think
he's enjoying what he's doing right now.
Are you seeing,
hands down,
on that note, are you seeing more contracts with bonus opportunities, such as if you get a top 10 or if you win? Is that something that's becoming more popular, such as for Ross Chastain?
Yeah, I think there's more and more, if we make money, you make money now. Mm-hmm. The days are gone of the big contracts. And, obviously I was in a lot of meetings with the charter stuff happening, and, sitting down with Mr. Hendrick and Roger and Richard and Jack. And, I was in a lot of those high meetings, and I understood why our sport got to where we got pretty quick on how it got too expensive. And, these guys were just racing each other. These owners, all they've done the last 15 years is race each other to win races. And they built all these big places and hired all these people for all this money. And they ran themselves really pretty much out of the garage for the high cost of what we're doing. And I applaud NASCAR now for making these decisions to keep everybody in line. And it's hard because you want to win, but that's why you're seeing these different drivers and these different teams run up front now, because there's a lot of more even parts, a lot more even guys now involved in the sport. So it's pretty cool.
And a new car kind of cleans.
That's what I'm saying. Everything. It's the same parts. Everyone has the same part numbers. Everyone has the same stuff. So that's why you're seeing a lot closer racing today than you did 4 or 5 years ago.
We've got exciting news. OfferPad wants to buy your home. Go to OfferPad.com right now and tell them all about it. You'll receive a cash offer within 24 hours.